Good morning, Dave here, the Enlightened Plumber, with today's quote, which is, "You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. That's something that you have charge of. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. That's something that you have charge of." This is from Jim Rohn. And let's get into it. Well, the first one here is a huge one. You must take personal responsibility. Well, yes, absolutely. You personally have to be responsible. You have to take ownership of everything in your life, because ultimately everything is your responsibility, and your circumstances, your results, everything you have, everything you are in whatever aspect of life you're in, all falls on your shoulders. So you have to take responsibility. That's a huge one. It further goes on to say here that you can't change the circumstances. Well, you create new circumstances, but you cannot change the circumstances you are in. You can't change the seasons, the wind. You can't change all those things that are happening to you in this moment. But you are, as it went before, responsible for changing your circumstances, your whole way of doing or being, that will, in time, moving forward, change your circumstances. So you can't change what you're in right now, but for the future, it's your actions that actually change all that. So it's pretty deep and pretty awesome. You can change yourself. Well, absolutely, that's what we're sort of getting into here. You can only change yourself by working on here, using these lovely little things here to read books, read information pamphlets, read whatever it is that's relevant to you, whether this is for your own personal development or even career, education. That's how I use those to see what you're reading, right? You've got your ears here. Well, this is for listening to conversations and listening to those around you. So whether you are on a course and you are listening to the instructor, if you're at school, hey, you're listening to the teacher. If you're with your friends, you're listening to what they have to say. Listening is critical, and most people don't actually listen. We think we listen, but we don't actually listen. You go out and you hear words, and as soon as you hear something that you like or typically have something on, and I do this myself, so I should use I here too, that I will go into a conversation, and I'm better than I used to be, but I will still on occasion go and hear a word and go, I know what that means, or I know what they're talking about here. I've got some input, and boom, instantly my mind is straight on to coming back with, oh yeah, I understand you, I get you, I whatever, giving some response, which is totally not needed, because they're the ones speaking. So I'm supposed to be listening. So that's a huge one. And just using your thinking pattern here to actually take on board everything that your senses are providing and saying, okay, what is going to ultimately be in the best situation? What have I done in the past? And is there something that I should or could do to change that to make a future engagement different? Or has what I've been doing been okay? Because what you'll find, and certainly I found in my life, that there are multiple times where items I'm doing now, I can look back and go, yeah, that really isn't the right way of handling that situation or the person or the conversation or whatever. So moving forward, that's fine. But on the other hand, there are a number, and certainly as time goes on, there's more that I'm happy with, that if I look back at and say, you know what, I think I handled that well. That was good. Okay, that's a way to keep going moving forward. Right? So you do have to reflect on these things, because that's how you change to move forward. So anyway, with that, you are in charge of all this, so do be responsible. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances or the seasons or the wind, but you can change yourself. That is something you have charge of. You and I, right? We all do. We all have charge of that. So from Jim Rohn and myself, Dave, the Enlightened Plumber, have yourselves an awesome day, and apologies on making this one a bit longer, but it's a great one to get into. So with that, have an awesome day. Take care.